what's happening around the world
and what's happening here at home. Good evening and a very warm welcome to Primetime News on TV1. I'm Piruni Karunaratne.
I'm Sandro Ferdinando. Let's take a look at your headlines for tonight.
The headlines on Newsfirst. Goal-face green. 88% of dengue patients infected with second virus variant. Health authorities say.
ඒක නිසා මේකට ජනතාවගේ තියෙන ප්‍රතිශක්තිය අඩුයි. රෝගී බවට පත්වීමේ හැකියාව වැඩි.
Expert report to be obtained on circumstances surrounding shooting of former IGP C.D. Vikramaratne. Former UNP municipal councillor remanded over alleged financial fraud. Security guard injured in Dehiwala cemetery shooting. 2 US soldiers killed in Iranian attack. US launches fresh wave of airstrikes in response.
The world is ready, the stage is set, and the final game of the 2026 FIFA World Cup is almost here.
And Sri Lankan football fans are in for an unforgettable night as the biggest match in world football comes live to you and your screens.
That's right. Umethra is ready to bring you all the details, action, and the glory from the FIFA World Cup final.
The grand finale of the FIFA World Cup 2026, the first edition to feature 48 teams competing for football's ultimate prize, will take place at midnight tomorrow. The highly anticipated final will see defending champions Argentina enters the final with 8 goals in the tournament, currently ranking second among leading goal scorers. Argentina have previously lifted the World Cup trophy in 1978, 1986 and 2022. The 2026 final between Argentina and Spain will kick off at 12:30 a.m. Sri Lankan time tomorrow at the New Jersey Stadium in New York.
Football fans across Sri Lanka have been given the opportunity to witness the FIFA World Cup 2026 final live on a giant screen at Goalface Green in Colombo.
The excitement is already building up as fans gather to experience the biggest night in world football together.
Newsfirst's Jason Navaratna joins us now with the latest update from Goalface Green.
Hello and welcome to everyone tuning in. We're coming to you live from Goalface Green to answer the one main question everyone has been answering. Who's going to win the FIFA World Cup 2026? We're here at the FIFA Champions Night organized by the Maharaja Media Network, brought to you by Sirasa TV and Newsfirst. As you can see the crowds behind me, the atmosphere is entirely energetic. We are joined by so many stage performances, so many performances happening on stage. We are going to be joined by the famous man Flashback and a surprise appearance from Bhatia and Santush. If you are watching this on your screens and if you have the time, feel free to drop by here at Goalface Green. There's 3 more hours left for tip-off. Feel free to come and join in on the fun. From the Newsfirst team, I'm Jason Navaratne.
Thank you, Jason. And as we can see, the Goalface Green premises are filled with excitement, with thousands of Sri Lankan football fans coming together to witness the biggest night in world football.
The atmosphere is building as fans gather in one place to experience the FIFA 2026 World Cup final live on the giant screen. Now, while Argentina and Spain are ready to battle against each other for the big victory, England secured third place at the FIFA World Cup 2026 following a thrilling victory over France in the third place playoff held early this morning.
Moving on to local news, the National Dengue Control Unit says that approximately 88% of the dengue patients reported so far this year have been infected with the second variant of the dengue virus.
Acting Director of the National Dengue Control Unit, Dr. Kapila Kannangara notes that public immunity to this specific variant is low and that the trend of infection is on the rise.
The number of dengue cases reported so far this year has increased to 75,321. During the past 18 days of this month alone, 19,943 dengue cases have been reported. Health authorities point out that 53 deaths have been attributed to dengue, with 70% of these fatalities being women.
Across the country, blood samples we have tested show that the dengue virus type 2 is the strain spreading most predominantly. Consequently, the public has low immunity to this variant, leading to a high susceptibility to contracting the disease. Furthermore, a person who contracted the dengue virus type 3 strain last year can be infected by the dengue virus type 2 variant this year. Such reinfections can potentially progress into more severe clinical conditions.
What is the reason for the higher number of female deaths? According to health authorities, the primary reason for the higher number of female deaths is the delay in seeking medical treatment.
We have observed that a significant portion of these deaths occurred because the individuals arrived at hospitals or sought medical advice very late or delayed in receiving medical treatment altogether.
The highest prevalence of dengue is reported from the Western Province, and the National Dengue Control Unit states that 162 MOH divisions are currently identified as high-risk zones for dengue. What methods can be used to reduce the spread of dengue?
With the increase in the number of cases within the Colombo district, healthy individuals are daily carrying the virus and transmitting it to other districts or cities, which leads to further spread. Therefore, if we can reduce the current situation in the Western Province, we can minimize the hardships faced by people affected by this disease.
Iran says the United States has attacked an under-construction nuclear power plant, while Kuwait says a power generation and water desalination plant has been targeted for a second time in 2 days.
Steven Machado is ready to bring us the latest update on the escalating situation in the Middle East.
Yes, thank you, Sandharu and Theruni. Now, the US Embassy in Jordan has strongly advised citizens not to go to the airport or seaport in the city of Aqaba because of a specific and credible threat. The warning comes after 2 US soldiers were killed, one went missing and the others were wounded in Jordan during an Iranian attack on a military facility. Now, US President Donald Trump said the deaths were a very sad thing, adding that the US will never allow Iran to have a nuclear weapon. Meanwhile, Lebanese President Joseph Aoun will make his first trip to the White House this week to present a plan to US President Donald Trump on how to disarm Iran-backed militant group Hezbollah and secure Israel's withdrawal from Lebanon. Let's have a look.
The United States launched another round of airstrikes against Iran last night, targeting its coastal surveillance and air defense facilities. Iranian media said an under-construction nuclear power plant in the southwestern city of Darkovin had been struck, as well as Qeshm Island in the Strait of Hormuz. CENTCOM said it also targeted Iran's Revolutionary Guard Corps responsible for the attack that killed 2 US troops in Jordan on Friday, where another service member remains missing. Iran has carried out its own strike as authorities in Kuwait said a power generation and water desalination plant in the country has been attacked for a second time in 2 days, resulting in a fire in some of its facilities. The Atomic Energy Organization of Iran has denounced the United States for bombing the under-construction Darkovin nuclear power plant. Meanwhile, warning sirens sounded in Bahrain as Iran continued to strike its Gulf neighbors with missiles and drones. An Iranian missile struck Jordan's Muaffaq Salti Air Base, killing 2 US service members and injuring 4 others. Meanwhile, Iran's IRGC said 2 ships attempting to leave the Strait of Hormuz via an unsafe route were involved in accidents and stopped, while 2 others refused to continue along the route. In another development, Iran's Revolutionary Guard said it intercepted and destroyed a US MQ-9 drone in Ahvaz, a city in the eastern Khuzestan region that borders Iraq. The MQ-9 has become one of the most recognizable military drones because it allows the operators to monitor targets for many hours, conduct surveillance over large areas, and strike targets with precision without risking a pilot in the aircraft. Meanwhile, US President Donald Trump has given a brief phone interview to the US cable network News Nation. Asked about Tehran's announcement that it's no longer abiding by the US-Iran Memorandum of Understanding signed last month, Trump said, quote, "I couldn't care less," end quote. He repeated the war's primary objective is never allowing Iran to have a nuclear weapon. The MOU was signed between Washington and Tehran in mid-June with the aim of ending the war launched by the US and Israel in February. Major General Ali Abdullahi, the commander of Iran's Qatam al-Anbiya Central Headquarters, has warned the US saying, quote, "Any aggression or barbarism will be met with a decisive and devastating response," end quote, from the country's armed forces. He pledged to strengthen unity between the armed forces, the Iranian public and officials, and pledged to impose heavier costs on the US than in the previous wars. At the same time, US State Department has urged Americans traveling anywhere in the world to exercise increased caution because of heightened tensions in the Middle East and the possibility of what it described as unforeseen escalation. Meanwhile, a magnitude of 5.0 earthquake struck Iran's Saland area of the southwestern Khuzestan province at a depth of about 12 kilometers. Khuzestan governor said he has issued the necessary instructions for the full mobilization of rescue and operational forces. Lebanese President Joseph Aoun will make his first trip to the White House next week to present a plan to US President Donald Trump on how to disarm Iran-backed militant group Hezbollah and secure Israel's withdrawal from Lebanon. Aoun, who served as the commander of Lebanon's US-backed army before being elected president in 2025, is the first Lebanese head of state in nearly 20 years to visit the White House, where he will meet Trump face-to-face for the first time. In comments published by his office this week, Aoun said he would ask Trump to exert the necessary pressure on Israel to implement a US-brokered June 26 agreement between Lebanon and Israel. That deal aims to disarm Hezbollah, seeing a progressive Israeli troop withdrawal, and set the stage for peaceful ties between the two countries.
The remains of former Inspector General of Police C.D. Vikramaratne, who died after sustaining a gunshot wound, have been laid to rest at a private funeral parlour in Borella since this morning for public respects. The final rites for the former IGP will be performed tomorrow evening at the Borella Cemetery with full police honours.
C.D. Vikramaratne, who served as the country's 35th Inspector General of Police, passed away last Friday after sustaining a gunshot wound at his residence in Talahena. The police suspect his death to be a suicide, revealing that he had allegedly shot himself using his security officer's firearm. During the post-mortem examination of the remains, the coroner delivered an open verdict. Meanwhile, the police have taken steps to call for a specialist report regarding the manner in which the former IGP sustained the gunshot injury. It is reported reported that samples of his mortal remains have been sent to the government analyst for further investigations. According to police, the former IGP's mobile phone has been taken into police custody. Police added that the phone would be submitted for further investigations after admitting a court order. The pistol allegedly used by the former IGP to shoot himself has also been taken into police custody and is scheduled to be sent to the government analyst. Statements have been recorded from the former IGP's wife and the 3 officers who were assigned to his security detail. The remains of the former IGP were later handed over to his family members, and his mortal remains were placed at a private funeral parlour in Borala this morning for public viewing. Numerous individuals, including former presidents, politicians, and government officials, arrived to pay their final respects to the deceased former IGP.
හිටපු පොලිස්පති චන්ද්‍ර වික්‍රමරත්න මහත්මයා මගේ ඉතාමත්ම හිතවතෙක් විශේෂයෙන්ම මම ජනාධිපති ධුරය දරන කාලයේ තමයි එතුමා පොලිස්පති ධුරයට පත් වුණේ. ඉතාමත්ම අවංකව බොහොම ගුණයහපත් බොහොම තැන්පත්ව සහ බොහොම නිවුණු සිතකින් වැඩ කරපු කෙනෙක් යා.
Senior police officers also joined in paying their final respects to former IGP C.D. Vikramaratne. The final rites of the former IGP will be performed tomorrow evening at the Borala Cemetery with full police honours.
A public meeting organised by the Sri Lanka Podujana Peramuna was held in Vennapur today.
What is it that every minister keeps saying? That they won't give up the government for 20 or 30 years. We also thought the same way when we were in power. We truly believed that, didn't we? If Anuru Kumara thinks he can stay in power for 20 years by throwing us in jail, intimidating officials, threatening the police, intimidating the military, locking up intelligence officers, imprisoning politicians, and using the prison system as a threat, then you are mistaken. As a party, we are organising at the grassroots level. Regardless of the pressure the government applies or whoever threatens us, we are building ourselves up at the village level as a political force. You have gathered here today to be part of that growing movement.
Attorney at Law Gamini Nalla Peruma states that members of the current opposition are expressing opportunistic views regarding the proposal to extend the tenure of judges. He points out that the proposal to extend the retirement age of judges was first brought before Parliament in writing by the current opposition groups.
The opposition has turned this into a political issue. In reality, during the administration of Ranil Wickremesinghe, several subcommittees were appointed under the Constitution Assembly chaired by Karu Jayasuriya. This is that report, presented to Parliament by Ranil Wickremesinghe on Saturday, the 19th of November 2016. Look at this report. It includes the report of the subcommittee on the judiciary. I will read exactly what it says regarding the retirement age. The retirement age of all Superior Court judges should be the same. Further, it is appropriate if that age is 65 years. After some judges retire, they may continue in service upon the recommendation of the Constitutional Council to provide advice and supervision to improve the competence and service delivery of lower court judges. These judges may serve up to the age of 70. Who is saying this? It is not us. This report was presented by Ranil Wickremesinghe. Yet everyone has forgotten the past, suppressed these facts and misled public opinion. We are saddened by the way the opposition is acting. Our proposal is that the retirement age of all judges should be extended. As lawyers, everyone understands the concept of the judicial mind. It is vital to have the same judge or bench from the beginning to the end of a case. We urge the public to think positively regarding these constitutional amendments. This initiative began during Ranil Wickremesinghe's time, and he proposed 70 years. The current government is proposing 67 years for Superior Court judges, 3 years less than what he suggested. The opposition is trying to deceive the public because they have no other political leverage. We urge the public to be vigilant regarding the false narrative being spread by the opposition.
Former Horana UNP municipal councillor Renuka Damayanti, who was arrested, has been remanded until the 21st of July. She was ordered to be remanded after being produced before the Vattala acting magistrate Meryl Botheju this evening.
Renuka Damayanti is accused of defrauding 6 textile businessmen in Peta by issuing them dishonoured checks. The police stated that after committing the alleged fraud, she had been evading the businessmen and remaining in hiding for some time. The police said that the suspect was arrested yesterday based on information received from the complainants when she arrived at the United National Party headquarters in Sirikota. The former municipal councillor who has been remanded is a 49-year-old resident of Kathudua.
One person has been injured in a shooting that took place this evening at the public cemetery in the Dehiwala Mount Lavinia area.
2 individuals who arrived on a motorcycle carried out the shooting at around 3:35 p.m. today. Police stated that the suspects fled the scene following the shooting. The victim of the shooting has been identified as the security guard of the cemetery who is currently receiving treatment at the Kalubovila hospital. The 56-year-old victim is a resident of Dehiwala. Police stated that they have uncovered that the victim is the father of an individual identified as Kavinda Madhusankar alias Sando, who is alleged to be an organized criminal and is suspected to be hiding in Dubai at present. A pistol was used in the shooting. Police suspect that the shooting may have been carried out due to a dispute between 2 groups involved in drug trafficking. The motorcycle used by the suspect, who fled after attempting to attack police officers with a sharp weapon during a raid in Bokundara, Piliyandala, was found abandoned on a side road in the area. At around 6 a.m. today, the police received a complaint stating that a group of individuals had arrived in the Tumpovil area to assault a woman. Accordingly, 2 officers from the Boralaskamo police arrived at the location on a motorcycle to inspect 2 suspects who were at the scene. The police said that at that moment, the suspect riding on the pillion seat of the motorcycle attempted to attack the officers with a sharp weapon. During the incident, police officers opened fire, injuring 1 suspect who was admitted to the Kalubovila Teaching Hospital. The police further stated that the other suspect who arrived on the motorcycle had fled the scene. A suspect has been arrested in Alubomulla Panathura with over 18 kilograms of crystal methamphetamine, commonly known as ice. Police stated that the consignment of narcotics is believed to belong to an organized criminal. Meanwhile, a suspect was arrested during a raid conducted last night in the Dikpitigoda area of Kiribatgoda with over 8 kilograms of ice and heroin in his possession. During the operation, police seized 6 kilograms and 96 grams of ice and 2 kilograms and 70 grams of heroin. Police further stated that 5,000 narcotic pills were also found in the suspect's possession.
Supreme Court Justice Yasantha Kodaguda explained the challenges faced by judges when granting bail to suspects. He made these remarks while participating in the launch of a book written on bail law.
Supreme Court Justice Yasantha Kodaguda shared these thoughts while attending the book launch and panel discussion for the legal text Bail Law, authored by attorney at law Vishitha Kumara yesterday.
අද වෙනකන් මේ දිවයිනේ සමහර මහේස්ත්‍රාත්වරු
To this day, there are magistrates in this country who write until a ballpoint pen runs dry just to perform their duties. They say if you draw a line until a ballpoint pen wears out, it can span about 2.5 kilometers. Among the decisions they have to make, one of the most sensitive is whether to grant bail to a suspect or to remand them. This is a decision that must be made accurately within their very limited time after deep study. They must study the points that come to their minds at the moment, the submissions made before them, and the facts revealed in the documents before them, all of which must be processed in an instant to reach a decision. As members of the public, you may agree or disagree with that decision. That is because the public does not look at this through the same lens, not through a lens with a single perspective, but through tinted glass. Therefore, please do not misunderstand us so lightly.
The first phase of the permanent restoration of the Taldena irrigation project, which was damaged by Cyclone Ditwa, has commenced in Megahakula. Following temporary restoration efforts carried out through voluntary labour, steps were taken to resume water distribution to farmers for cultivation activities from January 2026.
The first phase of the permanent restoration of the Taldena irrigation project in Megahakula, Badulla district, which was severely damaged by Cyclone Ditwa, commenced today. The project has been allocated a budget of 122.7 million rupees. The irrigation system, which suffered breaches and damage at several locations due to Cyclone Ditwa, was temporarily restored earlier through the joint efforts of the local farming community and the tri-forces under the direct supervision of the Department of Irrigation.
Usually, when these projects are destroyed, they are left untouched for years. However, we have initiated this project with the firm commitment to complete it under 8 months. We have already commenced repair work on several major irrigation systems destroyed by the floods. We have invested 226 million rupees into the Uma Oya project. A significant portion of that work is already complete, and we are allocating more funds for the second phase. We have invested 324 million rupees into the Badulu Oya project and 130 million rupees into the Batmadilla project. For these 4 projects alone, we have already committed 802 million rupees, and further funding is underway. Additionally, we have allocated 500 billion rupees for the reconstruction of canals and roads. This is no small amount. We are actively securing these funds for the district, and we have requested a further 74 billion rupees for new developments. We will secure that funding and get the work done. The Badulla district has never before received an investment of this magnitude.
Covering 350 acres and directly supporting 415 farming families engaged in cultivation, the standardized restoration of the Taldena major irrigation project is expected to provide long-term and sustainable benefits to the region's agricultural sector. The aim is to complete the remaining construction work within the scheduled time frame and hand over the fully restored project to the farming community.
An extraordinary gazette notification has been issued prohibiting the sale of sanitary napkins that do not carry the SLS 1732 and SLS 1748 standard certifications issued by the Sri Lanka Standards Institution effective from the 8th of October.
The Gazette notification was issued under the signature of the Acting Chairman of the Consumer Affairs Authority, SMD Surya Kumara. The regulations apply to both locally manufactured and imported single-use and ultra-thin sanitary napkins. Accordingly, the manufacture, packaging, distribution, transportation, storage, sale and display for sale of sanitary napkins without SLS standard certifications will be completely prohibited from the 8th of October onwards.
A fire has broken out in a bus between the Balipanna and Kurundugaha Hathakme interchanges on the Southern Expressway. The police stated that there is traffic congestion on the route from Kottawa towards Galle due to this accident. The fire was caused by a mechanical fault in the bus. Police reported that the Air Force is currently engaged in firefighting operations. No injuries were reported in this incident. Meanwhile, the President's Guide and Prime Minister's Award ceremony organised by the Sri Lanka Girl Guides Association was held today at Temple Trees.
The Sri Lanka Girl Guides Association, one of the country's leading voluntary organizations dedicated to empowering girls and young women, organized the President's Guide and Prime Minister's Award ceremony to recognize outstanding achievements of Girl Guides. The ceremony was graced by Prime Minister Dr. Harini Amarasuriya as the chief guest.
This is a moment where, unlike previous generations, windows and opportunities are opening up for women in every sector, in every sphere. In our own country, we see women leading in every sector, spheres that were usually previously not open for women. But glass ceilings are being shattered everywhere. And the shattering of those glass ceilings presents opportunities for all of you. But along with those opportunities come challenges. I think today's world is also, at the same time, while being very empowering for young women, can also be a very scary place for young women, can present many challenges, many adverse situations as well. And I think the kinds of leadership qualities that you develop here as Girl Guides, as Rangers, the values that are instilled in you about recognizing your capability, working to your full potential, working hard, commitment, discipline, these values will be really important for you as you channel, as you move, as you journey through these many challenges and situations that you're bound to encounter in our world today. Sri Lanka also stands at a moment, a very important moment in its journey. We are rebuilding our economy. We need to strengthen our democratic institutions. We need to work towards a more equitable, inclusive, and compassionate society. We are investing heavily in our young people because we firmly believe that that journey will be led by women and men like you, by women like you, and men who are also following in your footsteps and who will accompany you in this journey. The country needs you. The country needs leaders like you.
338 President's Girl Guide Awards and 12 Prime Minister's Girl Guide Awards were presented to recipients by Prime Minister Dr. Harini Amarasuriya during the event. The event was attended by the President of Sri Lanka Girl Guides Association, Swarnika Pittikala, Chief Commissioner Dr. Kushanta Herath, President's Girl Guide Commissioner Pushpa Pereira, Prime Minister's Girl Guide Commissioner Aruni Karunaratna, senior officials of the association, award-winning girl guides and their families.
Colombo's BMICH premises was once again dedicated to beloved pets today.
The final day of Pet Expo 2026, Sri Lanka's largest pet exhibition, which was held over 3 days, took place today.
A special highlight of today's exhibition was visitors bringing their pets on the Rajarata Regina train, which drew the attention of many attendees.
Pet owners and their beloved companions boarded the Rajarata Regina train from the Kurunegala railway station, along with several other stations en route, and arrived at the Colombo Fort railway station. Bringing together pet lovers, industry experts and leading pet product brands under one roof, Pet Expo 2026 was organized by the Sri Lanka Association of Veterinary Practitioners. The exhibition featured a range of activities including pet showcases, competitions and interactive experiences.
If you are an animal lover, I think this is the best opportunity that you can get because you can pet animals and engage in wonderful fun activities, and there are lots of activities going on here. So you can relieve your stress with petting our pets.
A special exhibition zone named Aloka was also dedicated to promoting the safety and welfare of stray animals, providing an opportunity for those willing to offer care and protection to become responsible guardians.
Very, very frequently animals are abandoned, small puppies who are defenseless, and we take them in. We clean them up, we worm them, vaccinate them, socialize them, make them in a good condition for you to take home. Please adopt dogs and cats.
The event also included educational sessions on pet nutrition, discussions on animal training and responsible pet ownership, attracting a large number of visitors on its final day.
Rabies has been a problem in the past where many people, now if you take 5 years back, there were about between 30 to 40 deaths in Sri Lanka. But now it has come down. Last year it was 14, this year it has come down to 6. So we can say this is one of the most successful campaigns, prevention campaigns in Sri Lanka. What we expect from the people is to be more responsible when you are raising a pet.
A conference on road safety was held in Colombo yesterday, focusing on promoting helmet use, responsible driving and measures to reduce road traffic accidents.
A national road safety initiative organised by the Sri Lanka Medical Association and the Rotary Club of Sri Jayawardenepura aimed at reducing traffic accidents and promoting responsible riding practices was launched yesterday with the introduction of the Helmet Hero project. The event brought together road safety experts, medical professionals, traffic police officials, government representatives and members of Rotary clubs to discuss measures to prevent road traffic crashes and reduce fatalities.
I think, as you know, road traffic crashes is a huge problem in Sri Lanka, and out of that, a vast majority are due to motorcycles. From that, we have seen how the motorcycles are used. It's a challenge. People, even with a vehicle at home, people tend to take their bikes for convenience and ease. So I think this is a very commendable project where we are looking at producing quality certified products for the children with different sizes, and the Rotarians coming forward to donate helmets for these children, especially in the underprivileged areas.
Annually, around 3,000 people life losses are reported in this small country, and more than 8,000 serious injuries. Most of those are leading to long-term disabilities. When you compare developed countries, we are twice above these factors. And if you compare with best performing countries, our data generally 5 times higher than countries like Norway, Japan, Singapore, etc. We are in the worst side. Sri Lanka reports highest death rate in the South Asian region. If you think about contributing factors to these road accidents, human factors such as reckless driving, speeding, driving under influence of alcohol and drugs, and also driver fatigue, violation of traffic rules, actually not only by drivers but also by pedestrians and cyclists, contribute more than 90% for all these road accidents.
The program highlighted the importance of public awareness, enforcement of traffic laws and collaboration between government institutions and civil society organizations in creating safer roads. The Helmet Hero project will continue to promote helmet use and encourage motorists to make road safety a daily responsibility.
The 3-day Hands Off Asia conference concluded yesterday with calls for greater regional solidarity, sovereignty and cooperation among people's movements across Asia and the global south.
The 3-day Hands Off Asia conference, organized by the International People's Assembly with the support of the Tricontinental Institute for Social Research, concluded today with a renewed call for sovereignty, regional solidarity and greater cooperation among people's movements across Asia and the global south.
Our entire hope is to unite the world's people for peace and for development, and against war and austerity. We do research. We build trust amongst political, social movements. We are interested in a world that is filled with people who want to collaborate with each other to end the major problems that face humanity, and we want to prevent confrontation. Our general slogan is more collaboration, less confrontation.
The final day's discussion brought together political leaders, academics, social activists, trade union representatives and cultural figures to deliberate on strengthening regional cooperation, advancing people's alternatives to current global challenges and promoting independent development. The conference aimed to provide a platform for movements and organizations across Asia and the global south to exchange ideas and develop common responses to regional and global political, economical and security challenges.
Sri Lanka's future finance professionals took center stage as the country's leading undergraduate talent competed in the grand finale of Value Masters 2026. The national level inter-university equity valuation competition brought together finalists from universities across the island to showcase their financial analytics, investment research and presentation skills.
The grand finale of Value Masters 2026, one of Sri Lanka's premier inter-university equity valuation competitions, was held at the University of Sri Javardhanapura, bringing together some of the country's brightest undergraduate finance students. Organized by the Students' Association of Finance of the university's Department of Finance in collaboration with CFA Society Sri Lanka and Acuity Analytics, the competition attracted more than 40 teams from state and private universities across the island. Following several rounds of evaluation, the top 5 finalist teams presented their investment theses and equity valuation reports before a panel of university experts representing CFA Society Sri Lanka and Acuity Analytics. The competition provided participants with practical exposure to financial modeling, equity valuation, strategic analysis, and professional presentation skills, helping bridge the gap between academic learning and industry expectations.
The 14th edition of the Sirasa TV Magic Ice Cream Carnival concluded today at the Vihara Mahadevi Park in Colombo. The park was filled right throughout the day with thousands of visitors who arrived from across the island to enjoy the carnival.
Everybody put your hands up and say,
The Sirasa TV Magic Ice Cream Carnival continued to attract large crowds today, with thousands of people arriving at the Vihara Mahadevi Park in Colombo since this morning. A host of exciting activities including the Iceland, magic shows, merry-go-rounds, fun bounce activities and various entertainment games were held throughout the day, creating unforgettable moments for children. Participants also had the opportunity to win exciting prizes. The carnival featured a wide range of activities not only for children but also for adults. By the end of the day, the Vihara Mahadevi Park was filled with a massive crowd enjoying the carnival atmosphere. The Sirasa TV Magic Ice Cream Carnival was organized with the support of the Colombo Municipal Council. The carnival also delivered a memorable musical experience for all attendees, with live performances adding more color to the evening. The popular Knights musical band lit up the night with a spectacular performance, joined by renowned artists including Robbie J, Gayan Gunawardana, Milan Hettiarachchi, Aditya Valivatta and many other popular Sri Lankan artists. As the night progressed, the Vihara Mahadevi Park transformed into a sea of people, with a massive gathering enjoying the final moments of the 14th edition of the carnival.
World News.
A protest by India's youth-led Cockroach Janata Party has intensified after activist Sonam Wangchuk was forcibly moved to a hospital on the 21st day of his hunger strike. Party founder Abhijit Dipke was splashed with ink after beginning a fast in solidarity.
Indian activist and educationist Sonam Wangchuk, on hunger strike for the past 20 days in Delhi, was forcibly removed from his protest site. The 59-year-old had been protesting in support of Cockroach Janata Party, who are seeking educational reforms. CJP founder Abhijit Dipke has now begun an indefinite fast in his place. He says the march to Parliament will go on and has called for Prime Minister Narendra Modi to resign. Videos from the protest site yesterday showed chaos erupting when dozens of police and paramilitary personnel swooped in on the stage where the activist was lying down. The Delhi police said today that the Cockroach Janata Party protesters had neither obtained permission to continue their demonstration at Jantar Mantar nor sought approval for the planned march on Monday. The CJP is planning a march to Parliament tomorrow on the 20th of July in protest of student deaths due to suicide over exam irregularities. The protesters protesters are calling for Minister of Education Dharmendra Pradhan to step down. However, according to police, the march cannot be allowed as prohibitory orders are in force around Parliament due to the start of the monsoon session.
And with that, we wrap up news for tonight.
Thank you for joining us. Good night.